Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to today's live stream. I have a very, very special guest with me who I am so honored to be interviewing. Everyone, this is Tirad Badawi. He is Raif Badawi's son. For those of you who don't know about Raif's story, he was a prisoner of conscience in Saudi Arabia. He is still stuck in Saudi Arabia at the moment, facing a travel and media ban. So I'm very, very honored to be speaking with his very brave, courageous son today, Tirad. Tirad, how are you doing?
Hello, hello. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure. Hi, everyone.
Such a pleasure to have you. Tirad, for those who aren't familiar with your father's story, could you give us a little overview of what happened to him in Saudi Arabia?
Yes, my father is a blogger and writer, a Saudi blogger. He was jailed in 2012 for criticizing Islam.
Mhm.
And this is criticizing Islam. It's in Saudi Arabia, to be clear, that's because he said in his blog, um, Muslims, atheists, Christian, and Jews, we are all equal. And this is criticizing Islam and insult of Islam in Saudi Arabia. So that's why he was sentenced for insult of Islam for 10 years in prison, 1,000 lashes, and 10 years travel ban after prison. That's uh, that's what he's doing now, because he finished the prison sentence, and now he's under travel ban for
Wow. Oh my goodness.
10 years. And his story, it's because he created a blog about human rights issues where people can discuss and talk about many human rights issues in Saudi Arabia. That's why.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Raif never really said anything critical about Islam. All he did was say that people from different faiths, different religions are equal. And all he did was advocate for human rights. And just for that, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison and 1,000 lashes. And he's still not allowed to leave the country.
Yes,
It's just awful.
and
Um,
there also, sorry,
no,
he
no.
never criticized the government. He always be respectful to the king and the royal family. So he only criticized the religious system in Saudi Arabia, who's the uh, police, religious police.
Mhm.
Now the police religious, of what I know, they not really they can't have the power that they have um, in the past,
Okay.
but that the only uh, thing he criticized, it's the religious figure in Saudi Arabia who's extremist and Islamist people.
Oh my goodness. And how old were you when that happened?
I was 10 years old.
10
Well,
years old, so young.
yes,
And as a child, what did you make of that situation? What did you understand about it back then?
nothing. Literally, I not. We know that our father is Raif Badawi, the same Raif Badawi that the everyone know. It's before. It's the same day that he was flogged, and before that, mom and dad never say us uh, that he was in prison, and we just don't know why our father is not with us. And he always say that he have work, and when he will finish, he will come to join us. And the day of the flog, uh, just they they can't keep the secret because the whole world talk about this, like they mom don't allow us go to school this day because she know that everyone at school will talk about this. And uh, yes, it was very difficult to learn the that he was in prison and that he would be flogged the same day.
Oh, and when did you find out what had really happened to your father?
uh, we found out in 2015, and it was a real shock that the same day I just googled his name and to see uh, who he's who is he really.
Mm.
And I was very very sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, my English, by the way.
Okay.
If you don't understand something, just tell me and I will.
Sure. Your English is fantastic, by the way.
Thank you so much. So I was very surprised to see all the support that his cause gained in international support, and
Mhm.
that's very surprised me. And I seen the same day the video that maybe everybody seen this video of the vlog, and I cry a lot, and it's it was very very hard moment. Everybody in the house was very very sad. I remember that that time uh, this week we just not talk. Nobody in the house talk, and just everybody in uh, still in his room, and we don't speak each other. And it was a very very difficult moment.
I can only imagine.
And the first time that we talked with him after this, it was comment on dit soulagement.
It was a relief.
It was a relief, and at the same time, yes and no, because we can't see him. We can't see if he really if he's really good, because my father always say, yes, I'm good, don't worry, I'm good, I'm good. But we know that he want to hide his pain.
Mm.
That worried us a lot, and it was a very very hard moment. And every Friday we we start the day with a big stressful feeling. And
Mm.
it was I remember all my childhood. The Friday, it was the comment on dit le pire,
The worst.
the worst day of my week, literally every Friday.
Mm.
And yes.
Was Friday the day where you were allowed to speak to him on the phone?
No, it's the Friday. The flog day. Every
Ah, and every Friday you're reminded of that moment.
no, because we don't know. We don't have the certitude,
The confirmation.
the confirmation that he will not be flogged this week.
Ah, I see. I see.
That's why we are really stressful, and
Yes.
it's it was a very hard moment.
And were you still living in Saudi Arabia at that time?
No, we were already in Canada.
Okay.
Uh, it's been this happened in 2015. We arrived in Canada 2014. So
Okay.
1 year we are in Canada.
In Canada. Okay. How has all of this changed your life from your childhood to where you are now?
All my life. um, and it's 100% all my life. It's about this case and about this story. And I I I think I love it now because I have the same the same comment on dit envie,
Envy.
envy to
Mhm.
the same like my parent. So I think now I love this to be a human rights activist and to speak for human rights issues. But this uh, this not my choice.
Mm.
uh, like we say in French, tomber sur la tête. It's like
Fell on the
fell
head.
in my head, and I just do it.
It feels like you have to do it. You have to keep fighting for your father and holding that message strong.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And
So, sorry,
yes,
keep
but
going.
no, go.
I was just going to ask, are you still in contact? Are you still able to hear from your father, even though he's in Saudi Arabia?
Yes, now since he was freed from prison, we can talk every day and
Okay.
FaceTime. I can see him. Uh, he's good. Uh, it's sure that still very hard because we can't touch him and just hug him and
Of course.
see him in real life, and it's not the same uh, with FaceTime. But
No, of course.
it's better than nothing. And he's well. He go out with friend and live his normal life because he can't work. He can't speak. He's not allowed to go in public space and speak with foreigners, people who's not from Saudi Arabia. He can't be in contact with anybody because many diplomat and people around the world who want to, after he was freed, who want to go to see him in Saudi Arabia, but he's not allowed to see people
Well,
from outside. So he's not free. He only free from prison, and that's why his case it's not finished. We still have to work and try to uh, get him back here in Canada
Mm.
because it's not it's not you are not free if you can't go outside uh, of your country.
Mm.
You are not free if you can't uh, if you are not allowed to speak on social media. You are not free if you can't post a picture of you or talk with people from outside or just live a normal life or work, uh, do anything here. So we don't consider that he's free. He he's 100% still not free. Um, we also think about go to see him, but we are scared because we don't know what can happen if we go there.
Yeah,
And
of course.
so it's still difficult situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people in the Western world, they know that Rafe is facing, a media and a travel ban, but even I didn't realize that you said he's not allowed to work either.
No, because first of all, people are because my father can do like journalism or something that he already do, but people are afraid to hire him, and because it's first of all he can't do that. He can't speak and do journalism or do anything in a public way. And secondly, he can't go work uh, in any place because it's dangerous for him. Everybody know him, and still many people crazy in Saudi Arabia who
Yeah.
are with the Islamist idea, and we don't know what can happen to him. So that's why he can't work, and it's um, it's not normal for him to just go out with friend and come back house and sleep, go. It's not a great life.
No, no. It sounds like every time he's leaving the house, he's risking his life. You don't
Yeah.
know who he's going to see outside in the street.
Of course, and also he feels spy, and he's not feel really comment on dit, il se sent un peu regardé.
He feels watched.
He feel watching.
Someone asked a question. Zagras wants to know, does he have a tracking bracelet that he has to wear? Like, are they officially watching his moves?
No. But by example, he seen a lot of car who's follow him and park front of his home, and what he do, and also a lot of thing, but I unfortunately I can't say it in public for his safety,
Of
but
course.
he's he's under a lot of pressure still from the government.
Tirad, your family has been through so much that so many people can't even begin to imagine or understand. How do you find the hope and the strength to keep doing what you do?
Really, I think first of all my family, my mother, she's my hero. She's a very strong woman, and I think also that we have the best supporters from the world, and really because they are with us and following our story since more than 10 years and go. So they are the the first source of hope for all our family, because we see that we are not alone. We see that our father is not forgotten, and that's that make us very, very happy. And we it's at this moment we say that all this, it's not for nothing, and all we done, it's not just forgotten.
Absolutely. I just want to acknowledge you brought up your mother. For those who don't know Insaf Haider, if you want to learn more about Raif's story and Insaf, she is such an incredible woman. I highly recommend you read her book. I think she's done a movie or a documentary about Raif's story as well. Is that right?
With the NFB, the
Yeah.
ONF,
Yes.
and yes, it's in Canada. Maybe it will be translated in English and posted for Europe and rest of the world. But yes, it was launched years ago in Canada.
Oh, fantastic. She's such an incredible woman. I really admire her. I think she gives strength to a lot of people all over the world. I wanted to ask you, Tirad, what do you think the Western world doesn't really understand about life in Saudi Arabia for people like your father?
Uh, I think it's a lot of things that people not really understand in Saudi Arabia, but principal thing, I think it's that in Saudi Arabia, maybe you see uh, open, and now Saudi Arabia it's free, and that's that kind of of news. I can confirm that's it only for economic way, only
Mm,
economic reason, and it's not just 1% for human right. Still, at this day, human right activists uh, who's who comment on dit qui ne sont pas populaires, qui ne sont pas connus,
Who are not known.
who are not known,
mhm.
and Saudi Arabia um, arrest them still now, and they only free people who everybody already know, and just to say, look, we are now open, and it's good. Because if, first of all, if Saudi Arabia really change, why they keep travel ban? Why? Not only for my father, for many other activists in Saudi Arabia. And why they keep this? Because they still afraid, and it's nothing to be afraid, because my father is a peaceful guy who never insult Saudi Arabia, never insult government, never insult. He's a very respectful citizen of the law, and the law of his country, and so I think that it's paranoia for nothing, and it must stop, because uh, this way to show people it's fake change, and it's not real.
Mm.
Also, this only for the travel ban, because if we see the reality is people still under pressure, people still can't speak freely. Freedom is only for foreigners and the media who come in Saudi Arabia, and for few people who live in big city, and who's like we say, Jeddah is not a conservative city in Saudi Arabia, and that's long since a long time we say that in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah is one of the most liberal city in the country. So I think it's also depend with your family, because a lot of mentality is also conservative, and people have a lot of people in Saudi Arabia who love the Sharia, who love the Islamic regime, and who love the who don't see a problem with the Saudi Arabia of the past years, and they love this Saudi Arabia. So this kind of people also help the government to still don't they take them like an excuse to say not everybody want what you want, a country. And so now Saudi Arabia, the goal of Saudi Arabia is achieve the 2013 project Vision 2030, who's a big project. I think everybody hear about this. It's project for tourism, because Saudi Arabia know that petrol it's not and while money it's not for ever. So to diversify and change their income source. So they want to make another Dubai and another United Emirates, and the United Emirates, it's also a country whose people think, Dubai is free, and Dubai is no. Dubai is the same of Saudi Arabia, literally the same. For the people, the Emirati people is the same. For foreigners, for tourists who come in Emirat, yes, it's not the same, of course, because they want tourism and they want tourists. But Saudi Arabia, they want to recreate the same thing than Dubai.
It makes me so angry when I see foreign tourists going to places like Saudi Arabia, and because they're a foreigner and they've got these foreigner privileges, they have a great time there. You know, they don't have any understanding about what it's like for locals. And then they jump on social media and talk about how it's such a liberal place and how it's changed. What is it like for you and your family when you see these people saying these things?
You know, this is I think those people is not the real problem. The real problem is people like Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, who make themselves ambassadors of Saudi Arabia. That this kind of people who show the rest of world that, oh no, come in Saudi Arabia, it's good. Saudi Arabia, it's change, and nothing happened there. And I think this is the real problem, because those people have power to influence others, and they have to take the responsibility of saying, yes, Saudi Arabia have a human right problem, and why they don't discuss with Saudi Arabia government and say, it's simple, like let your journalist, let your writer, let your atheist people free, and the people will come alone. And really, we not Saudi Arabia not they doesn't need Cristiano Ronaldo to say come in Saudi Arabia to people come in Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia is a beautiful country. is a big country and develop developed.
Mm-hmm.
So we have one thing we miss in Saudi Arabia is human right and a good a government who respect human values and who respect the the people and first of all human right women because the women in Saudi Arabia are uh, they have the same power than a kid than a child, and that's a big problem. What kind of society did you have and you want to comment on dit prospérer,
To evolve.
to evolve in if you teach your kid and your people that women are not equal, not only not equal, but are literally moins que, comment on dit,
Have a less right than
comme des animaux de compagnie.
should have the same rights and
They have the same right like a pet. Really, that that's made me very mad. It's unbelievable. 2024, that's still a country, and Saudi Arabia is not the the only one because the we can list a country, a 10 country just in 1 minute to say they don't respect human right, women right. Sorry. So Saudi Arabia, yes, sorry. So how you can involve in and have a great society if you teach people that women are less than a pet? This is crazy, and this a faulty ideology that we have to eradicate immediately because a lot of child in Saudi Arabia who doesn't respect their own mother, their
Yes.
and they think a guy who's 13 years old think he have more power than his mother, think that he can say no or yes to his mother. You, if you say this to Western people in Western country, they will laugh at you. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
But
They still live under guardianship laws in Saudi
yeah,
Arabia, don't they? Yeah.
yes, and it's under the family. If your family it's liberal, you are lucky. You will a guardian. But if your family was conservative and was conservative is not the same. To be clear, it's not the same that the conservative in the West. It's conservative like in Islamist conservative. So if your family is very Islamist, you will have a guardian, and it can be your child of 12 years old. You can believe this?
It's crazy. I think people in the West can't even begin to imagine what it's like to live under a government that still treats women like second-class citizens. So for those who don't know, guardianship laws are based on this concept of a Muslim woman needing a mahram, needing approval to do anything, to leave the country, to get a job. I've worked with a lot of women in Saudi Arabia, like you were saying, who their 12-year-old son has more rights and power over them, and they're the mother. I think people just don't understand really the extent of how badly women are treated over there. When Saudi Arabia reversed the driving ban for women, a lot of people fell for it and thought, oh, look, they're becoming so liberal and look how great they are. What was it like for you and your family when those sorts of changes happened and the way people responded to that?
Honestly, I was happy because I know, to be clear, I know that it's not every woman can drive because it's still your father or your brother, your uh, a male guardian who say if you can or not. But it's authorized by the government. So I was happy for many women and many family, and we know many friend who was very excited to pass the driver license for the first time, and it was very excited moment because uh, people of Saudi Arabia wait this since a long time, and we can't not be happy. And yes, it's not perfect. We have to do uh, more avancer,
To do a lot more.
to do more, and uh, but it's a first step, and I I can say that it's a good step for everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely, I can imagine people have been waiting, decades for something to change. And so that little change would have gone a very long way for the women living there. Absolutely. Um, what else do you think people don't understand in terms of how people like your father, for example? I mean, he was flogged and put in prison just for saying people deserve equal rights. What other kind of things does the Saudi Arabian government target people for?
A lot of things. In the past years, it was I talk about the police religious,
Hmm.
مطوعين in Arabic, and this police they have a lot of power, and before 2020 we can say, and they still uh, in place in Saudi Arabia and many city, but they have less power than before, and uh, people don't understand that those guy is for the majority of them they talking about religious and peace and those shit, and these people uh, for the majority they are prisoners, criminal who go for in prison for rape children. Yes,
Oh my God.
um, and a lot of atrocities. They are criminals. So in prison, they become very extremist, very Islamist, and
Mm.
then they go out, and because of that, they have laissez-passer pour sortir plus vite, free pass to go more fast out of prison.
What?
Yes, and when they out of prison, it's it become they become in the متطوعين, and they go in mall, in public place, in beaches, in a lot of public place to say people what they can and what they can't do. By example, in Saudi Arabia, if you go in restaurant, you have women section, and you have male section, men, and uh, they make sure that everybody respect this law and many other Sharia law, uh, and that's their job. It's to make sure that everybody is conform
So
and
the government rewards people who have done awful things like raping children, rewards them by giving them a job and giving them power over other citizens just because they took on a more Islamist view in prison. I had no idea about any of this.
because they are Muslim and a good Muslim for so so by example it have one a guy, I don't sure is a mutawain, he's a religious voice, but uh, it's to say how Saudi Arabia is. Uh, this guy raped his and killed his daughter of 3 years old. Uh,
Oh
I
my God.
on my Twitter years ago, but um, this guy um, killed his daughter, and
Did you say 3 years old?
yes, he go in prison for, I'm not sure now, but less than 2 years he was in prison. My father, who never just fight with someone, more than 10 years in prison, 1,000 lashes, and 10 years travel ban after prison. It's to uh, give an idea how Saudi Arabia uh, judiciary system uh, go.
Why do they not punish people who have done awful things like kill a child? Where does that mindset come from?
This is, and I think this guy got a royal pardon.
What?
Yes. Mm. And I'm not sure, but it's because he's a good Muslim. That's a good reason in Saudi Arabia to just free people, a criminal. But now in Saudi Arabia, it's changed because these same people, it's the same people who's not agree with the change of Saudi Arabia now. And Saudi Arabia, uh, in any way, have to change. Government, no. Royal family, no. And Saudi Arabia, it's been created with a pact between the Al Saud family and religious religious figure in Saudi Arabia. So this is the the beginning of Saudi Arabia. So from the beginning of this country, of this history of this country, we have Islamist figure who have power on many uh, aspect in the life of people, and in the government they have many power, and uh, in the justice uh, it's the most powerful. They are the most powerful in justice. They have very 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 power, and a lot of power, sorry.
That's
and
okay.
and this now have to change, and Saudi Arabia know that they have to export those people from Saudi Arabia, and they put um, the people who's very extremist in prison. This is now, and because of the change, the new change of Saudi Arabia, and they want to export out of Saudi Arabia all notable figure and people who have power, and send them with money in Western country who oh, welcome them with with a hug, and they know this Saudi Arabia and Middle Eastern country know that Western country for being good and inclusive and this thing,
Mm.
they will take these people and they will send them, Saudi Arabia send them outside uh, and give them money to found institution or foundation about the Islamic foundation or Islamic to come on, build mosque and go teach uh, the Western people how Islam is great and how Islam is peaceful. So now Saudi Arabia want to export those people because they want to change, and they know those people will it will be like a fight because they don't want Saudi Arabia change. They want to keep Saudi Arabia in Sharia law and extremist Sharia law because Saudi Arabia is still on Sharia, but they, by example, cinema is open, music is festival, etc. This those thing is authorized, authorized,
The right.
authorized now. So and those people don't want this, and when they see people like um, I see who is good, like any Justin Bieber or any famous singer go
Mhm.
do show in Saudi Arabia, they are very angry, and they try to cancel the show, and this crazy. So so they want to keep them and export them outside.
That's so interesting. What do you think is Saudi Arabia's, like, what's their end game? What's their final goal with exporting these people and these ideologies out to the West? What do you think they're trying to achieve?
Sorry, I don't understand the question. Can you just repeat?
Yeah, so so you were saying that Saudi Arabia likes to send people to the West to set up mosques and to teach people Islamic ideology. Why do you think they're doing that? What do they want to achieve in the end?
I think Saudi government doesn't have a comment on dit précis,
Precise.
precise goal in this, but what they interest them, it's the facts that those people will leave Saudi Arabia, and I think, on other hand, that uh, it's very nocive for Western country because if you see now in UK what happened, it's it's sad. Really, it's sad.
Mm.
The I every time I see picture of UK, I just like I believe myself in Pakistan or in Afghanistan, something like that, because it's crazy. It's crazy. It's not normal that in the street people sing and euh, comment on dit crie, say Sharia law for UK, Sharia,
Mm.
or many. I heard a lot of crazy thing, but and see a lot of crazy video, and I think it's the same for all of you. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. It's insane that in the West we've got these people chanting, we want Sharia and Sharia for the UK or for America or whatever. Why do you think people in the West, even when they see these Islamists chanting in the streets, why do you think they're still so willing to accept Islam, to paint Islam as this peaceful religion?
You know, I think that people, I call them the woke people, the left people, who's who are, they are just ignorant, you know. They it's they are not comment on dit méchant, they are not mean, or they are not horrible person. They are just uneducated. They, it's simple. And they think that what they stand for, it's freedom, it's justice, it's equality, it's diversity. It's so all all those things, it's not real, because people who stand for Islamist, and after stand for women right and say I am feminist and I want equal right for women and for men, and they said that I don't know, example, conservative Western part are not good for women right, and they don't want equality for between women and men. I just say the people that you support, they want less freedom for you, women, for LGBT people, for every people who think outside of the box, every people who don't want to be religious, every people who, and religious in sorry, everybody who don't want to be Muslim, because a lot of those and this is fake Muslim, because I know a lot of Muslim who are peaceful Muslim, and first of all, my mother and my father also, they are peaceful Muslim, and for me this is a great example of what a Muslim and a peaceful Muslim look like. And the the Muslim in I will say in France, and because I see a lot of people of my age who are who convert to the Islam, and say, "Oh yes, it's great, it's," and they are they are the opposite of a good person. They and it's not it's people like how I say, you know, this case, it's a case of young how is comment on dit racaille? Comment? Young thug in France, who drive without driver license, who whose refusal to comment on dit d'obtempérer?
Accept what the police.
He's refused to accept to be arrested by the police. Those guys say, Wallah, Allah, no. This is a little part. Okay, just say, for we will go back to people who think they are for equality and justice and in Western country. This guy is he drive without driver license, so he out of the law just for beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And he's being arrested. A police arrest him because he's not in he's in a location uh, car,
Mm-hmm.
not his car or a friend car or something. So uh, police arrest him first. It's normal to see who is in this car.
Yeah.
They see it's a young guy of 16 years old who doesn't have driver license. He's uh, demanded to go out of the vehicle, of the car, and set off the car and go out. He refused. He say no, and uh, just uh, go um,
He
go
drives away.
drive away. Police shot him.
Mm-hmm.
People the same day, people in France, all those walk, go outside in the street, broke everything. How it's racist, police is racist. No, no, no. The police officer don't even care about his nationality.
Mm-hmm.
He only see a guy who don't have a driver license, who are who is a potential uh, danger, source of danger for the rest of society. This guy, they try to arrest him peacefully. He refused and go.
Mm-hmm.
What police supposed to do? Just say, okay, go, have fun. And oh no, 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 don't do anything. We are not racist. We are not. If it was a white guy, okay, we will arrest him. If
Yeah.
Arab or black guy, no.
Then it's racist or Islamophobic.
Yes, Islamophobic is it's a word who was created by Islamist who doesn't want people criticize Islam.
That's it. That's it.
Why? And it's mean nothing, Islamophobia. It's mean nothing because in Islam you have homophobia, you have woman phobia, you have a lot of phobia. So you can't say Islamophobia.
Some super chats from some supporters. RB, thank you so much for your kind generosity. Charlie, thank you so much as well. Says great chat, sending love from Quebec. And then they say something in French, sorry, that I can't understand. What does this say, Tirad?
I just don't see it. Let me. Lâche pas le combat tirade. Merci beaucoup, c'est très gentil. It's don't give up.
Ah,
Yes.
that's a great message. Thank you.
Et je vous remercie tous les Français aussi et tous les Québécois qui nous écoutent en ce moment. Et j'espère que vous comprenez l'anglais quand même. So I just say a little word for French people and Quebec people.
Thank you. No, they'll appreciate that.
Just tell me. I will finish the subject. Just I want to say a quote from my father.
Please do. Thank you.
On this in what happened in Palestine. This quote was in his blog. It's since a long time he write this. So it said, "I am not for the occupation of an Arab country by Israel, but on the other hand, I do not want to replace Israel with an Islamic nation which would settle on its ruin and whose only concern would be to promote a culture of death and ignorance among his followers, at a time when we desperately need those who call for a culture of a life and development." That's
That's perfectly said. That's a fantastic quote to finish with. Thank you so, so much. Tirad, before I let you go and finish the interview, I just have one more question, which is for all the people around the world who are watching this, what can they do to spread your father's message and support you and your family?
First of all, you can go join me on my social media, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and I put update on our case and our life. And I just want to say thank you for everybody who already support us since a long time, and for everyone who want to support us. I think uh, just doing a pressure on your if you have a deputy in your city, talk with him about the case, and try to raise the case again with your government of your country. That will be a great help, and I think we are not finished, and we are not done with this. So we need every support and every kind of support from any government also, because Canadian government now, I don't know if you see, we try to have the citizenship for my father so he can come here, and it was uh, it was voted by unan- unanimously by all the deputy in the parliament. They vote yes for grant him citizenship, but we wait for immigration minister to do some, and unfortunately he doesn't. So we wait for any government who can help us to have white passport or soft conduct, something like that. It will be helpful.
Absolutely. So for everyone watching, please, I hope that this conversation will help you understand the importance of keeping Raif's message alive, of supporting Tirad and his family, and the incredible work that they're doing to advocate for Raif's freedom. He is still not free. He is facing a travel ban. His life is under the threat in Saudi Arabia, and it's really, really important that we keep our voices active and keep the attention and spotlight on what he is going through. Tirad, thank you so much for joining me for this interview. I think you are such a brave, courageous, inspiring young man, and it's been such a pleasure and such an honor to speak with you. So thank you for doing this interview with me.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much, my dear. It's a real pleasure to discuss with you, and thank you everybody who listened to this live. And it was a great pleasure, and maybe we will do it another time.
I would love to. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone who was watching. Thank you, Zagras, for being my moderator, which you didn't ask to do, but I just made you one anyway. Thanks, everyone, for the sweet messages. Thank you so much. Have a great day or a great night wherever you are in the world. And I will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.